Hello dear student, once again Amanat Ali here. Today we are at page 204. It's unit 8 of level 4. So the topic of our writing today is writing a persuasive essay. Writing a persuasive essay means when you are any writer wants his reader to pursue his reading. So this essay is not a simple essay, but it is a research based or a kind of reference based essay. The writer in this essay, writer present an issue, take a position on this issue, and also to convince. He develop an argument to convince the reader, and also he prove his argument or his thesis statement by facts, statistics, and quotation from expert sources, from references. The writer doesn't simply write a story, doesn't describe something, but write fact and figure and statistics and prove his thesis statement through the research. In the organization of this essay, as you know, the clearly present his argument, his thesis statement in the introductory paragraph, and then in the body paragraph the writer includes the facts, evidence, and examples, and also counter argument. You know what is the acknowledge the counter argument mean others point of view. For example, someone says soccer is violent, it's not good for kids, but in my point of view soccer is good if it is played according to the rule and regulation and with care, so not bad for kids. So counter argument is the writer thesis statement in and counter argument against the writer thesis statement. Sorry, yeah, writer gives an argument, the counter argument is the against the writer's argument. Counter mean opposite. So let's move to the essay or article. Are comparative games harmful for children? So this is an article written by, yes, we don't know who wrote it. So let's move to the activity, what is required from the activity. So then we will move to the essay to read. For example, the first one is talking about what is the thesis statement. So as you know, thesis statement is the main idea or the argument of the writer, so you have to read and find it. The example of Jake in the introduction may be the fact or maybe the counter argument. So the author view, counter argument, background information. So I think it is a counter argument. So whatever you read, what is the writer thesis statement, writer arguments, if it is the same then the example, if it is not then it will be the counter argument. Then we have to move to the writer. Yes, yeah, here the activity wants us to read paragraph 2, paragraph 3 and paragraph 4. So we have to solve this exercise, read the paragraphs and find out if it is thesis statement, example, or counter argument, main idea, counter argument, or refutation. Okay, what is refutation? Refutation mean the denial, mean totally you reject someone argument, that no, your argument is not acceptable, that is called refutation. Okay, let's move to the next page. Here the writer, the yes, this activity is the part of the paragraph 1, body paragraph 1 from reading the previous page 206. So thesis statement. Okay, let's move to the activity. What is argument? The argument is, you know, always the thesis statement or the point of view of the writer, his own point of view. Counter argument is the opposite of his arguments. For example, someone says football is good for kids. Yes, so counter argument, football is not good for kids, or mean counter opposite. In refutation, when someone deny the fact, mean that it is not always possible. So here we have some other arguments. The argument, pediatrician and child psychologist agree that play, especially child driven free play, is essential to children development. This is the argument of pediatrician and child psychologist. What is the counter argument? Some educators argue that this is the counter more than in this complex world, so more time need to be spent on academic subject. So counter argument is the argument of the other person. Yes, and refutation, when you deny both and write the third point of view, that is refutation. Okay, here we have the activity argument. Young children need time with no activities. Here refutation, doing nothing helps children learn to entertain themselves and not depend on other. Yes, doing nothing helps children learn to entertain themselves. Here young children need time with no activities. So this is the refutation, means totally the rejection of this idea. So counter argument is opposite direction of the argument. So you have to solve this exercise. Argument is given, you have to write argument according to the counter argument, then write your argument, counter argument, and refutation about the play. Then write an argument or counter argument and refutation of these ideas. Argument: playing store is good of use of children's time. So playing store, yeah, the game. So counter argument, you have to give the counter argument, the opposite of this, and then refutation, deny the facts. You have to solve this exercise according to the instructions and show it to your teacher in the online session. Then we'll move to the grammar activities. Adverb clause of concession. So as you know, we have studied the adverb clause. Clause is not a full sentence that start with although, even though, while, despite the fact. So where we use this? When we have two situations. Yes, for one idea is less important, that is less important than the idea in the main clause. An idea and that show that one idea is less important. For example, we say, yes, although online classes are very effective, but traditional classes are better than. So which one is better? So traditional classes are better, online also we have. So although online classes are effective, but traditional classes are better. So when we concession, when one idea is important than the other idea, even though the online games improve the child's mental level, but even though it's improved, but they also create trouble and make the kids stubborn. So we have the concession. Also we use the word like, though, while, despite the fact that. Okay, we will go to the example, you will understand better. Children needs a lot of active play. It is vital that children rest. Although it is vital that they rest, children need a lot of active play. While means show the contrasting idea. While children need a lot of active play, it is vital that they need rest. So you have to solve this exercise like competitive play is helpful for children. Competitive play encourage bad behavior. Even though competitive play is helpful for children, it encourage bad behavior. All the one fact is, both things are fact, but one is important than the other. That is concession. Despite the fact competitive play is helpful for the children, it encourages bad behavior. So losing game is a horrible experience. Losing a game can be good lesson for children. Yes, while losing game is a horrible experience, yes, it can be be a good lesson for children. So concession, though, same is the case here. So complete the sentence with your own ideas, then discuss your sentence with a partner. Identify the argument and counter argument. Even though sports are difficult for some children, even though sports, yes, while they improve their health. Although you can write this argument. Yes, business staff should so argument complete the sentence 1 and sentence 2. one clause is written, you have to write the other, complete this and show it to your teacher during the online session. Thank you very much for watching this